I want to send my solidarities and greetings to today's conference. It's important people coming together now to look at how we campaign around the issues of disability in the coming period. It's important because so many people are suffering as a result of 7 years of hard austerity. And we have to remember that the Tories took a specific decision that they would target disabled people for their cuts. They thought that disabled people were vulnerable and therefore would not fight back. And that's why they've weighed the burden of much of the austerity onto disabled people themselves. We've got to show them that we're not willing to take it anymore. I want to pay tribute to all those who've been campaigning over the recent years, and I've been on demonstrations and occupations, we've held public meetings and rallies, and disabled people have thrown themselves into the campaign against austerity. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Disabled People Against the Cuts. I want to thank the TUC's Disability Committee, all the individual unions, all those individual campaigns that have been campaigning on issues like the work capability assessment, the brutality of the social security system, the way in which the health service and education and other aspects of our welfare state have been cut, but targeted against disabled people. This government is brutal, absolutely brutal. They've targeted disabled people and they've caused real suffering. There's many of our comrades we know who've not survived either. The number of suicides associated with the social security cuts and the sanctions and the WCA implementation. The 2,300 people, just as I think a very conservative with a small seat estimate of those people who were assessed as ready for work and yet died before they could take up work. It's been a scandal, an absolute scandal what this government has done to disabled people. That's why it's right that we come together now and talk about the next wave of our campaign. I think what we've got to do is, well, explain in every aspect of life what this government has done to disabled people. What they've done in terms of withdrawing benefits, just the basic income to tackle and deal with the basic needs that disabled people have got. What they've done in terms of the withdrawal of care. We now know 1 million people no longer receive the care that they need as a result of the cuts and the austerity measures. But also the denying of the health treatments that people need, the long waiting lists for essential operations and treatment. Yes, and also the cutbacks that are taking place in education. You know, special needs pupils are now coming under particular attack by this government as services are closed down and support for them has been undertaken, denying many disabled young people the opportunities of living a full and fruitful life as a result of that. I think we've got to expose all that's going on. All the reports that we do, make sure they're published and publicised. Make sure that the research that we do is out there so that no one should ever really say they don't know about what's happened to disabled people in this country. But yes, also it's not just getting the information out there, is it? It's about mobilising, it's about demonstrating, it's about making sure we're campaigning in elections to support candidates who support disabled people. And it's taking direct action whenever we possibly can, where we feel outraged at the cuts and levels of austerity that this government is implementing. So I welcome the conference today. I welcome what you're doing in terms of planning the next wave of campaigning. And you can rest assured that you have my support, you have the Labour Party's support. But also you can also rest assured that when we go into government, whenever this government falls, it will be you that will be determining our policies when we go into government. It will be you that will be involved in implementing them, because we believe that principle for disabled people. Nothing about us without us. You will go into government just as much as we when that election comes. Solidarity.